So here's what happens. And I'm not a psychologist. I am just somebody who sat through three police academies. Things I noticed about police academies when I sat through 3 of them. So I did 77 weeks in academies, and 2 of them were not fun. One was okay, but still difficult. 3 of them were not fun. I'm sorry, 2 of them were not fun at all. One was horrendous. The instructors that cursed, or in the South, cussed, those instructors always seemed to engage and had people's attention more. Those who broke up the monotony of topics that are not exciting with funny videos always made class much more pleasurable. Now, I know why. Unfortunately, every cop who's an instructor is a one-trick pony and puts trunk monkey. Have you ever seen these? Yeah. This was a while back before you can get a lot of stuff to trunk monkey thing, and I'm like, oh, here we go, another trunk monkey video. I didn't look at how police do things to perform and put on our show, because ours is a show. Everybody who teaches at our company puts a show on, and a show in an important way. I look at those who get paid $100,000 an hour to talk and what their programs look like, not Steve, who comes to teach some horrific topic and is committing death. They call it bullet points for a reason, because it'll kill you. So when you're clicking through bullet points on a screen, it'll kill you. If you're listening to this podcast and you're doing presentations and bullet point after bullet point with no video, visuals, any kind of way to visualize the topic, we have learned through other channels and personal experience that not only do we have to use visuals, and you'll notice that tomorrow you're not going to see any bullet points on the screen. We have to recite case law today. You're going to have to see the language. In order to believe it, I can't even write it. I've actually screenshot it and highlighted it. So when you go back and they believe that you can't do this, you can say, look, it's literally clicked from the legal documentation and he just put a red box around it. I have to put it there because it's believable then. If I just wrote it myself, you would think I made it up. It's crazy. I know it sounds nuts, but it's true. At some point, and depending on the feel of the room, and I've actually understood what was wrong with the room today a little bit, hearing about the law, even though it's very informative, any topic you discuss is going to feel monotonous. So these videos are strategically placed in certain spots to reset the brain. So you get a brain break, as I call it my son's school on the thing. You get a brain break, and I think it probably has something to do with the OODA loop a little bit. I don't know much about the OODA loop, but it gives your brain an ability to disengage, relax, and then re-engage back into the topic. And funny videos are hard to find. I'm very funny. I'm aware of this. I know what funny is. Most people don't. But at the same time, like, I'm not good at playing basketball. And, like, people have strengths and weaknesses. That's part of who I am that I recognize. So I'll tell our instructors, if you can't find funny, find things where people get hurt. And for some odd reason, that seems to work really well, and people just love watching other people. If you want to believe how much people enjoy other people getting hurt on film, watch your kids when they see people getting hurt. My son's new favorite movies are like Home Alone, Baby's Day Out, stuff where people are getting the crap beat out of them, and he finds it hysterical. I mean, you play with kids, and they punch you, like, ow, so that goes into adulthood. If you can't find anything funny, you're trying to create content for your class, find things where people are getting hurt. Hitting their groins, coming off of a jump on rollerblades, falling off of roofs. Like, this stuff works great. And it's in every platform. So if you're teaching any kind of platform to interrupt your brain and give yourself a relax, anybody getting hurt's going to work. So
I don't know what that says about us, but
and by the way, we're just human beings, right? So, like, we're not showing videos of people getting severely there's some of them, I think they've gotten severely injured. It's funny because one of my friends, he's a teacher for the plumbers union, and he's like, I do the same thing. He goes, I just find ones people get. He goes, and the more hurt they get, the funnier people seem to find it. I don't understand why. I'm not into things. I don't like negativity. I won't watch things that are negative. But people like watching folks getting hurt. They like to go, ooh, oh God, and that's what it's there for. Yep.
Yeah. I like your demeanor and the way you teach.
Thank you.
And the foul language, because Sarah and I, we're a good team because she brings the sweet element. So there's been times we'll go somewhere and we'll pitch our new recruiting campaign or something, and she's like, I think you'll take this audience. Because it's just different, right? The language is different. People respond differently to that. So
I'm very Jersey, too, by the way. Like, I'm as Jersey as it comes. I'm Italian and Irish, which is a big Jersey combination. I grew up born and raised in Jersey. Families from New York, Brooklyn. But this is so I'd be inauthentic if I didn't curse, right? And I think there's some honesty with cursing. I think when people are cursing, I think people trust you more, to be honest with you, when you're speaking openly. And I know that in a dynamic like this, I can't use language that I normally use. But that's just kind of who we are. I mean, it's hard for people to understand this in the South, but I'm going to give you this just a little insight. If you came to my house and didn't curse at my Christmas table, my family would think you're weird. Where if I came here and did that, I'd be thrown out and have a turkey leg thrown at my head on the way out. But it's the truth. It's our culture of how we speak. And there's something very authentic for when somebody uses foul language of who they are, because they're not holding back at all. I don't use foul language because I have an intention of pushing the boundaries and offending people. I use foul language because of the authenticity of who I am and because I need to keep people engaged and entertained. And I've found through the years, those academy instructors who showed up and let it go were the ones that we always remembered as being the best. And there's not many of them. I'm talking about 3 academies. I can tell you about 3 to 5 names that I can go back over. Some of them I'm still friends with that I thought were very good. Outside of that, those who came in and put a professional face on, not for this world. Right? We're saying we're not going to curse in front of cops, but you can go see somebody blow their head off 3 hours from now, or go to a triple fatal car accident, but you can't hear the F word in class. We're going to go interview people who have been victims of some horrible assaults. It's not an easy thing to listen to as a cop when you got to sit down and hear somebody's traumatic story, because you're going to empathize because you're human. And to say that cursing is not accepted in this profession, you got to understand what we're dealing with, and that's kind of our way to our release. And I don't know of cops that don't curse, to be honest. Anywhere in the country, I think, Jesus, we come to the South. Sorry, I know we're in the South. I didn't mean to say Jesus. My apologies. But we, I mean, especially in the South. Yeah. Maybe not at the dinner table or at church, but certainly. And I'm not encouraging people to misbehave and act unprofessional. This is a closed environment where we're amongst people, our confidants. So, but certainly in the field, there's not much of a place to behave that way as a police officer. Life and death situation, certainly, if it comes out, let it rip and let it rock. But outside of that, it doesn't come with the territory. It's internally. It's an internal thing that we do. So doesn't mean it's that we're not acting or behaving correctly. It's just that that's what people respond to. So.